in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mommy, man. I'm here to remind you where you come from. All this peace retreat is lame done. You can never get rid of me. I live in you. Both of our five in you.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Pro Bowler Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, born and raised in Brownwood, Texas, played his college ball at Houston. It's Case Keenum.
At the 2018 draft, when the Broncos number came up at 5, plenty of chatter that they might take a quarterback right there. Remember, Josh Allen was still on the board. Josh Rosen was still on the board. But the Broncos made a commitment to Case Keenum in free agency, and they're living up to it. Did not take a quarterback in that slot. Going to ride with their new number 4, Case Keenum.
Now it's Freeman. A spin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Partner, is that what you call a quick hitter? That was actually a bolt of lightning, wasn't it? Right out of the gate.
And, of course, on the heels of him winning AFC Offensive Player of the Week 1 week ago. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Freeman again, a first down carry. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 1 rushing touchdown, yes, but look at the rushing yards. He was up near 200.
The one phrase I'd use to describe that performance, he carved up that defense. And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a kick. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A great effort there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit Here, Townsend, as he's on to punt for Oakland. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. They juked him. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And with the day he's having, as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah. And you know how superstitious these guys can be.
Oh, there's no doubt, right? If you put your left sock on first and you have this kind of game, you'll keep doing it. In this case, let's investigate that pregame meal. We might need some of that.
Yeah, right. It's working. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
1 quarter down. 14-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. To throw, it's Keenum. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, the coach is back. He made it through the first weekend. That's the good news, and he's going to regale you with stats and scores from around the NFL here in the early games in Week 2.
You think he questioned coming back for Week 2, having to work with us?
I think he did. He's just happy that he is far away in Orlando. Keenum to throw again. And that one his first incompletion in its last 6 passes. And it's 3rd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns.
Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. Freeman with a fast feet. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Keenum will try again on 2nd down. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff Hireman. Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5". And
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Third quarter starts with a run by Freeman. And now running right through him. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Eddie Vanderdoes there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will
through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Bronco score. A big play there. 74 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Keenum on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the you know, make someone miss in the open field. And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you get all that open space, the big guys leading the way.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his legs.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's Keenum. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's third down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Throwing again is Keenum. That's complete right around the 8. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there from 8 yards out, and the Broncos add on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. They toss to Freeman. Able to power through. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Now a toss right. Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the 4th with their lead. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
That 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Keenum's going to throw it here. His pass caught at the 4. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was... Now they'll run it on the toss. Able to slither by. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Broncos, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.